Hello and welcome to Newsroom series, where we bring you news from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olumide Macaulay, and our focus today is the Southwest region. But first, the headlines. And we begin in Zamfara State, where the joint health sector unions, but before we go there, an early morning fire has razed the only market in Trademore Estate in Lugbe, Abuja. The inferno, which is said to have started around 3:30 a.m. today, shortly after the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company restored power, swamped the market before emergency services could respond. Now, the fire is said to have started about 3:30 a.m. when the Abuja Electric Distribution Company, AEDC, restored electricity, but the exact cause is yet to be ascertained. Channels Television could not also report on what was destroyed in the fire, as at the time of the filing of this report, so is an ongoing story. 2 hours after the fire started, men of the Federal Fire Service from EFCC and the Sauka station were finally able to extinguish it. And in Zamfara State, the Joint Health Sector Unions and Assembly of Healthcare Professionals, Yadiman Bakura Specialist Hospital Gusau, are demanding the Zamfara State government immediately begin the payment of their 6-month salary arrears from the adjusted CONHES or face industrial action. They made the call while briefing journalists about the arrears from June to November 2024 and the pending promotion which they want the state government to implement. The branch chairman of the Joint Health Sector Unions, Comrade Sani Rabiu, said the unions also are demanding proper implementation of allowances such as status, call to duty, and hazard allowance arising from the 30,000 minimum wage. The joint health unions say they've observed that there are some irregularities in the payment of salaries for October and November 2024, which include grade reduction, step reduction, and wrong salary scale placement. Meanwhile, members of the Joint Health Sector Unions and Assembly of Healthcare Professionals in Delta State have joined their counterparts from other states to observe a 7-day warning strike, which began from midnight on Friday at the Federal Medical Center, Asaba. Members of JOHESU observed the exercise with strict compliance, insisting the federal government must heed their demands. Meanwhile, other health workers lament the challenges they've been facing since the beginning of the strike. And now we turn our attention to the southwest region of the country, and we begin in Lagos State. The Lagos State government has announced its plans to develop 2 new towns with functional infrastructure in Ekpe and Ibejuleki area of the state. This was disclosed by the State General Manager of the New Town Development Authority, Mr. Alakunle Aboyeje, during a stakeholder meeting in Ekpe. He says the projects about to kick off are Ekpe Mixed Development Scheme and Labour City, and is designed to bring about socio-economic development to the area.
A massive expanse of land along the Ekpe corridor of Lagos State is about to be developed by the State New Town Development Authority. Achieving a smooth implementation of the new town's development for Ekpe and Ibejuleki axis is the reason why NTDA has brought all stakeholders, including community leaders, property owners, Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, to sensitize them about the project coming up soon.
Today's meetings aim to foster open dialogue, address concerns, and explore opportunity for growth. We will delve into the project progress, discuss potential challenges, and identify area for synergy.
As stakeholders, we have a role to play in making decisions a reality. Let us work together, share ideas, and focus on creating an Ekpe Mixed Development Scheme and Labour City that meets today's needs while preparing for the future.
A brief presentation of the projects, which is the Labour City Scheme and the Ekpe Mixed Development Scheme, designed to be carried out in phases.
We have 3 phases for this Ekpe developmental scheme. The first phase is what we are looking at now, which is about 7,781 hectares, and it is divided into 8 zones.
Now, the good thing about the Labour City is that it's supposed and it will actually help us absorb the population that would work in the refinery, the Lekki Free Trade Zone, and you know, the international airport is also within close proximity.
Lawmakers representing Ekpe constituency, one of the two, emphasized that the people of Ekpe must be carried along. All necessary compensation must be given to those affected by the development, and developers must be given a time limit for the project.
We want the government at least to give us our dues. If they are using government machineries to take over the land, our due must be given us in form of extension at the right portion, so that development will be even.
Give up a scheme that the family that owns the land will also benefit from. Not that maybe you collect the total land from them. Let the family that owns the land, if it's 50 hectares, their percentage of giving them part of the land. So they will also be happy that government have done well. And the people that you allocate it for must start it immediately.
While the Permanent Secretary Lands Bureau asked the people to support government initiative, the State Commissioner for Agriculture also advocates for land for farming.
Ekpe is supposed to be the food basket for Lagos. But right before our very eyes, Ekpe is morphing into something else, and it's only a matter of time. We will not have a food city for Lagos anymore. And we will have to push all our farmers probably to Ogun State. So please, as we are trying to push for development, let us also put it into consideration that we must still leave room for farmers.
I want to assure you that our secretariats are taking notes, and all that is going to be said here will be taken back home, and Mr. Governor will action it.
The Lagos State New Towns Development Authority says it will continue to engage the people to ensure that their interests is well protected during and after the development of the Ekpe Mixed Development Scheme and Labour City.
The Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, Shehu Mohammed, has advised passengers to speak and act against overspeeding and dangerous driving. The Co-Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, stated this while delivering a lecture at a town hall meeting on reducing accidents on the road held at the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Owo, Ondo State.
Road crashes have been identified as one of the major causes of death in Nigeria. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, 2,662 road crashes were recorded in Nigeria in the first quarter of 2024. Over 8,000 persons were injured, while 1,471 fatalities were recorded. This prompted the FRSC to begin a series of town hall meetings to educate members of the public. Present here are stakeholders, including members of the Drivers' Union drawn from the 6 local government areas in the Northern Senatorial District of Ondo State. As the theme indicates, speak up against dangerous driving. Crashes kill more passengers than drivers. The meeting focuses on enlightening the passengers on their roles in reducing road crashes.
What kills one easily, more than any disease or sickness, is an accident. And the good work to ensure that accident is always nipped in the bud or reduced to a minimal level is highly applaud. And I pray the Lord keep on sustaining you.
In his remarks, the Sector Commander, FRSC, Ondo State, Dr. Samuel Ibitoye, emphasizes the need for drivers and other road users to be safety conscious.
We need to observe the rules and regulations as it is laid down. And that is why we're saying enforcement is a job we do. They want attitudinal change. Attitudinal change from the drivers, attitudinal change from the pedestrians, I don't change from the commuters who are traveling from one point to the other. I don't change from even the designers of the road. I don't change from the students in the schools, the marketers, and those who are moving every time on the road. If we can get it right, then our roads will be safer.
The FRSC Corps Marshal, Shehu Mohammed, is represented by Leah Adeleke, the zonal head of operations Osogbo, consisting of Osun, Oyo, and Ondo states. He knows that the town hall meeting is to alert the public, especially the passengers, on their roles in reducing road crashes. There's also a critical message for drivers.
My advice to transporters is to go by the rules. They should not overspeed, they should not overload, and they should follow the rules of the road. By doing that, they will arrive at their destination safely.
Attendees are given the opportunity to contribute by asking the relevant questions and expressing their views on the theme of the lecture. At the end, they promise to further impart others with the knowledge they have gained from the lecture.
From Ondo State to Lagos State, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has announced that the ongoing construction of the Lagos Central Food Security System Logistic Park in the 500-bed psychiatric hospital being put in the Ekpe area of the state will be completed by next year. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who made this comment when he paid a working visit to the project site, said to be the largest in Africa, is expected to solve the issue of food insufficiency and also address mental health cases in Lagos. He says the Lagos Central Food Security Systems and Logistics Park will be ready in the second quarter of 2025, while the psychiatric hospital will be ready by fourth quarter of next year.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu begins his assignment for the day at the ongoing construction of the Lagos Central Food Security Systems and Logistics Parks at K2 Ereyin Ekpe. The project, initiated about 5 years ago by the current administration, is sited on over 200 hectares of land in Ekpe area of the state, and it is projected to be Africa's largest food hub when completed. After going round the project site, the governor moves into one of the facilities with his team, where the project contractor explains the progress of work as well as the challenges slowing down the project.
So we are having challenge supply of cement to this project. Averagely, we batch about 600 cubic a day, which will require about 12 to 14 trucks of cement every day. You can see the road that we are doing. They are all rigid pavement, 250 mm road everywhere. And the reason is very simple. You have heavy trucks flying this road every day all around the complex. We can only plan to ensure that we have something that can last the next 50 years and not give the project any challenge.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the idea behind the project is to make Lagos food secured and will be delivered by the second quarter of 2025.
Lagosians deserve things like this. Lagosians deserve projects like this. I want to say that it's part of our vision. When we started, I would say we had an agricultural food security vision. This was one of the things that we met. And we've changed the narrative of the ministry from just being Ministry of Agriculture to Ministry of Agriculture and Food Systems. Because any agriculture without food, we're just deceiving ourselves.
Next up is the ongoing construction of the 500-bed psychiatric hospital, also in K2 Ereyin Ekpe area of Lagos State. The project, under the supervision of the State Ministry of Health, is currently at 50% completion stage and will help address mental health issues in the country.
It's a massive institute which is sitting on about 25 hectares of land, right? So it will be an end-to-end, psychiatric center. We believe that this aspect of our health delivery is equally important. We believe that we have seen enough health challenges in terms of mental health issues, and we need to, make a classic case, of this and make sure that it's first in class, the best that people can come in, come for psychotherapy, psycho-rehabilitation, and get well in a serene and in a very decent environment.
The working visit is rounded off at the Isimi Lagos, a new tourist site in Ekpe, expected to boost the tourism potential of Lagos State.
Welcome back to Newsroom Series. We'll touch base with Oyo State now, where the governor, Seyi Makinde, says he will continue to use all resources at his disposal to maintain peace, even as he reiterates his administration's commitment to provide all necessary support to security outfits in the state. The governor gave the assurance during a courtesy visit by the Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Mr. Ahmed Audi, and his entourage at the governor's house in Secretariat Ibadan. The NSCDC bus was in the state to attend a conference at the Institute of Peace and Strategic Studies, University of Ibadan, where he also delivered a lecture on the role of the NSCDC in promoting national security.
The Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Mr. Ahmed Audi, is in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, for crucial engagement targeted at enhancing the effectiveness of the Corps to protect communities. First stop is the office of the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, who welcomes the NSCDC bus and his team.
Oyo State is actually one of the...
Governor Makinde notes that the Corps has been complementing government's efforts in making the state one of the safest in the country, despite the security challenges experienced across the nation. He also acknowledges the important role the NSCDC has been playing in protecting the country's critical national assets, promising that his government will continue to provide all necessary support to security agencies.
The work that you are doing, to keep our country safe, and especially in this state, I can only say that let us. We have to keep pushing, and where we can collaborate, where we can cooperate. I want to give a commitment of the state government that we will also continue to do our own part to ensure that our officers and men that are toiling day and night, they don't see it as an hardship posting. At least we will always give them.
Next, the Institute of Peace and Strategic Studies at the University of Ibadan, where the role of the NSCDC in promoting national security also takes center stage. The Commandant General notes that the Corps interfaces more with the civilian population through its crisis management, disaster response, and security enforcement.
One of the ironies that Nigerians do not know, putting together all, amalgamating all security agents, all personnel of security agents. A friend of mine conducted a research on that, a PhD thesis. He realized that at the end, that our policing capacity is nothing to write home about.
The NSCDC boss adds that there is urgent need to increase capacity for security agents with more funding and recruitment of more personnel, as these inadequacies significantly impact the Corps' effectiveness.
Really, the government has been supporting us, but we need more support, especially in terms of budgetary improvement. And of course, we want to also ask that private individuals should also come to the aid of the Corps, because we are now in a PPP era, where, because the assignment that government has given to us is a very Herculean one. Protection of critical national assets and infrastructure, very tasky. And so we need some equipment to be able to do it, very well.
With approximately 80,000 active personnel, the NSCDC is responsible for intelligence gathering, combating vandalism, illegal bunkering, pipeline protection, and many others. Bukola Oriowo, Channels Television News.
And now from Oyo State to Osun State, Governor Adeleke has expressed appreciation to the people and residents of Osun for their overwhelming support and their show of support during the celebration of the midterm anniversary of his administration on November the 27th, promising more democratic dividends as his administration begins the second leg of his first term. The governor, who stated this who stated that project commissioning will continue until later this month, said he was also overwhelmed by the massive demonstration of backing and affection of the people, stressing that the feedback from the populace has strengthened his resolve to do more across the sectors. He once again extended an invitation to the opposition to join the train of positive development in Osun, saying that the only way the state can move forward is together. The state government has challenged youth in the state to take advantage of the new opportunities in the creative industry and use technology to implement and develop their innate and God-given talent for self-reliance, job creation, and socio-economic development. State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Osun, gave the charge in Abuja during the conference on emerging opportunities in the creative industry and technology held in the state capital. Participants and veterans in the creative sector of the nation's economy advocated leveraging on current and emerging technology, determination, consistency, and creativity for a successful career.
Nigeria and indeed Africa may have lost out in the industrial revolution of the 19th century, but efforts are being intensified to be at par with the rest of the world through emerging technology and the creative industry. Youths are being given the opportunity to be in the driver's seat, and they are drawn from different higher institutions in Ogun State for this conference to stimulate and fire up their interests, imagination and creativity in different aspects of the creative industry and technology, which the World Bank said could create 4 million jobs annually if properly harnessed.
World Bank says that the creative industry in Nigeria can spin over 4 million jobs annually if it's properly harnessed. But how much of that harnessing are we doing? If you watch African Magic Yoruba, you realize that over 85% of movies that are aired on African Magic Yoruba are shot here in Ogun State. But how much of investment do we have to keep that as an economic multiplier here in Ogun State?
Big players in the creative industry who have made their mark in its development share their personal experiences with calls for creativity, dedication, and utmost sense of responsibility.
It's not enough to master tools or trends. You must ground your work in purpose, passion, authenticity. Our heritage, our stories, and our unique perspectives are powerful assets that the world is eager to experience. So you start local and you go to global. And what was the currency that you are going to spend when you get there? Your culture. Don't forget that.
Innovation. When Adeleke was mentioning all the things that he had used, computers and all of that, some of you were thinking, at his time there were no apps like this. So we have apps now. So what I want to tell you is that innovation is anything that you use to improve anything that you do.
The State Commissioner of Environment, Mr. Osun, who represented the state governor at the occasion, admonished participants to make use of those opportunities and initiatives being initiated by the government to develop their talents.
There's something in you, the younger one from Ogun State. God has endowed every indigenous of Ogun State with a talent. There's something in you. You just have to be creative. Don't bury that talent. Don't bury that talent. I know what you're having today is just a trigger to so many other things that are going to come up. They're going to have it in a bigger way.
The event witnessed the taste of the creative potentials in the state as the late Hubert Ogunde drama troupe thrills the audience with performances.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.